Welcome to Bold Blind Beauty on Air, where we celebrate real stories, real voices, and the bold beauty of showing up exactly as we are. Friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, "What? You too?" C.S. Lewis. Today's episode is a Galentine's Day celebration, not about romance, but about something just as powerful: the women who walk beside us, see us clearly, and help us become who we're meant to be. This is a conversation about friendship, about using our voices, and about how women can intentionally uplift one another in ways that actually change lives. So grab your coffee, your favorite cozy blanket, or your best friend, because this one's for the women who show up, speak up, and lift each other up. And now that we set the tone, it's time to hear from the women who are part of this conversation. I'm going to start by asking our co host a few questions about friendship, voice, and being seen. I'll begin with Sylvia. Sylvia, if your closest friends were describing the kind of woman you are, what would you hope they say and why?
Steph, I think one thing that, and it was one of the compliments that someone gave me one time, and they said, "You exude optimism." I guess I would want women to say that when Sylvia shows up, she brings joy and hope. And I just think about all the people who do that for me and how good I feel. And so that's what I want to be, that when I enter a room or, a conversation, that I just make people feel good, but also feel hopeful.
I definitely concur with that. You are a beacon of sunshine,
Oh, thank you.
and your positivity it really is second to none.
Oh, thank you, Steph. I'm sure I have my moments, but that, you know what? When I have those moments, a cool thing happens, and then other women show up to do that, to be that for me and bring me that hope and joy. So I want to be
Well,
that for others.
I think Sylvia, you are for me, you are someone who's always glowing and sharing of your optimism. I've never seen you be melancholy as much or Debbie Downer. You've always had something positive to say, even when the clouds and the skies have been blue. So you're always that little ray of sunshine at the end
Thank you.
of any
That's
cloudy day. So I love that about you.
Thank you. And that's
I would
how I feel about
definitely,
all y'all. Y'all are that too.
I definitely want to just agree with that. I feel like Sylvia has always just been, she just has that positivity, and I think like you are someone who, even if some, like Nazreen said, even if something is really stressful or it's overwhelming, you always try to give the better outlook on it. And I really think that that's such a great quality to have, that I think more people will, I'm sure, appreciate the more that you encounter other individuals. And I think that's just an amazing quality to just have within yourself.
Thanks, Gabby. Okay, now I'm getting really something over here. Y'all gonna make me cry.
We're not going to have any of that. Well,
Next.
actually, happy tears are always good. Happy tears are
Yeah.
always good.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So, moving along, Nazreen, what does it really mean to feel seen and valued by your friends, especially in moments when the world doesn't always see you clearly?
That's a great question because I find being visually impaired, the world doesn't see us as we should be valued. And so it's those rare moments or those rare people that when they do, it's so meaningful. It's the friends that notices the things that you don't have to say out loud, that you don't mention. It's when they understand, for me, my heart, my humor, my exhausted moments, because there are plenty of those too, and the resilience, even when the world tends to overlook it. And I think the biggest thing is in valuing a friendship is accepting the person or people as they are, including faults and all. And God knows I've got some faults, but accepting everyone, I think, as they are, is very meaningful, powerful.
Nazarene, I have observed that you do that for other people really well. Like, I know that I've met people through you who maybe I didn't see their potential, but you saw their potential. And I love that about you, that you see this potential in people and you start with where they are, but you believe that people have this amazing potential and you try to foster that in them.
Thank you, Sylvia. I really appreciate that. And that's true. Because I feel like people have so much far to go. And sometimes it just takes someone to point it out or set them on the right direction. Because as you know, in our community, we don't get the praise that we need all the time from our family, our community, sometimes even friends who don't understand. So
Sometimes we have to encourage ourselves.
I definitely agree, Nazarene. I think you have always been, even through your moments of difficult situations, you've always been someone who, you've always tried to show up, even just here, for us as the family that we are here. You've always come to the meetings, even on the days that were a little tough. And I think like that within you, I've seen for the last couple years that I've been a part of BBB, like I've gotten to experience seeing how each of you ladies kind of like navigate even the difficult situations, but still showing up to, be a part of the conversations and having the tough conversations and knowing like, hey, if this is going to be difficult, like I want to know that, I want to let everybody else know like, hey, I'm still going to try to show up and still going to be me through it all. And knowing that, we also see you for who you are and seeing you show up for the people in your life. And that's why I think, we definitely support you. I know we all support each other, but supporting you through all the moments that you've had to go through, especially this, just within the last year, especially. So I think your resilience and who you are as an individual, as a woman, I think is really beautiful to be able to witness as someone who's been part of the team for the last couple of years.
oh my goodness, guys, you're gonna make me cry. Thank you
But you know
so
what?
much.
Something that's important about that is someone who's willing to show that authenticity, to share that they're going through tough times. That's
Mm-hmm.
not easy for everyone. And if you don't do that, then your friends are not able to rally around you when you need them. So having that vulnerability, I think for all of us, being willing to say, "Oh, this is hard. I'm going through some stuff."
Yeah.
Allows
That's a good
people to
point.
show up.
That's a good point, Sylvia, because we're
Mhm.
all going through something. Life has to go on. It
Mm.
has to. We can't be stagnant. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a very strong point. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'd like to add one other thing. I think, Nazreen, in your line of work and training people and helping people, find employment or go to the next level in their careers, that is a gift, being able to invest yourself in other people. And when you think about, friendships and relationships and connection and those types of things, I think that that is one of the highest levels of connection that a person can do, is truly investing in another human being to help them to become, a better version of themselves. So, yeah, I think that everything that everybody has said here made some very, very great points. Thank you so much. Dana, what's the boldest thing a friend has encouraged you to do that you probably wouldn't have done on your own?
I had to ponder this one a little bit. I think it collectively, I would have to say, okay, two things. One is the boldest thing that I probably would have never done, I would say the boldest thing I probably wouldn't have tried is my friend encouraged me to try sushi. I would have never thought about eating that just on a random. And the other thing, I know I couldn't narrow it down just one. You guys have encouraged me to try to do my own video. And I would have never really thought about it if it wasn't for you guys.
I think you are someone who has, you know, you have so much that you bring to the conversations, even when you and I have spoken separately. And that's why I think like to encourage you to put what the work is that you're doing out to the world. I think that I have definitely seen how impactful your words are and the things that you inspire me and the rest of us to do, which is why I think, you know, we really do stand behind that when we say like, hey, we suggest it because we know that other people can definitely benefit from that. And I think I'm happy to see that, you know, you have definitely done a lot within the BBB space for sure and just like being a good friend and just supporting us and all the encouraging words, you know, you've given me separately when we've spoken or when you've messaged me. And so I think that's why I'm someone who I definitely fully support the work you're doing and support you going through the journey of, you know, putting your work and your content out there for more people to explore it and experience that, because I know that, you know, what you're doing is really great.
Helping us look more beautiful.
Yes,
I
that
just
part.
want to know, did you like
Thank you.
sushi? Because to me, mm,
It's
did you like
not.
it, Dana?
Yeah, because my friend, because she was very cultured, had traveled a bit. So
Hmm.
she was like, you can always eat the vegetables and you can get it cooked, even the seafood. So
Mhm.
I started like with cucumber rolls and of course shrimp tempura. Shrimp
My
tempura is good,
favorite.
you guys. Yeah. So I started with that and I, I I love it actually. I don't hate it. If you get authentic sushi, some of the stuff people say it's sushi, but they add stuff that's not in sushi, like mayonnaise. That's not a part of sushi.
But I do have to say that, you know what? Since you joined Bold Blind Beauty here, you've been, you know, a great asset to us, and you always bring value to the conversations that us women have. Always that voice of reason, and kind of leave us with sort of a hanging food for thought, if you will. If we're going to keep it on the food level here, you know. And but one thing I always love about you, especially, is that when I'm least expecting it, I'll get a WhatsApp message from you about something or another. Just leave me some words of encouragement, some impactful sentence, or a like minded thought. And you just leave it and you go, you disappear. And when I listen to it, it always puts a smile on my face and a
Mm.
warmth in my heart to give you sort of a virtual hug. And, you know, that's what I absolutely love about you. So, you know, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate all of you. I have such deep love for you guys, admiration, and you all have been inspiring to me and encouraging for me and kept me uplifted. You have no idea how what you guys do has done for me. And I appreciate all of you and I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Gabby, Gabby, when a friend is struggling, how do you show up for her without jumping into fix it mode? I think that this is like a really thought provoking question because we all want to fix what's wrong, right?
Definitely. I think for me, you know, it's more about like how can I be there for this person? And I always try to ask my other friends like, "Hey, what do you need?" even if they can't really say the words out loud, you know? And oftentimes that is as simple as like, "Hey, can we just sit down and have like a good lunch together? I don't want to talk about the problem even if they have mentioned it." I mean, recently a friend of mine, you know, she was going through a really hard time and it's just been a lot mentally for her, and I was like, hey, like, I don't want to fix it unless you really want me to help you fix it. Other than that, I will offer you can come sit on my couch and we can like just hang out so you can get your mind out of like whatever is going on. And I think those are the moments that I think people really value because in those times, you know, of course, if you want to fix the problem, people will say, I need help fixing this. But oftentimes, people just want a space where they can feel comforted, where they can be held, where they can be, you know, supported and know that like this person's here for me and I don't have to have them fix the problem right now, but they're here to listen. They're here to lend a shoulder if I need to cry about something. And I feel like I've really tried to be that for the other women in my life, you know, the my other female friends and just trying to make sure that they know like you are loved and that like even if this problem feels like it's never going to go away, I'm here to like help you not think about it. You know, we can play a game, we can watch something silly, which is often what a lot of my other friends like to do. And I feel like that is one of those moments that really brings friends closer together because those are the moments where they are like thank you for doing that for me because I didn't even know that that's what I wanted in the moment, but like you knew how to help me get through that situation without even asking how you wanted to fix it. But I'm here regardless, and I feel like that's what I love the most about female friendships is just the connection and the mutual understanding when you have friends like that in your life, for sure.
Gabby, I hope you never lose that because the older you get and the more people you encounter, the more you just are like, can we just address it and be done? But the reality is there's lots of things we can't fix anyway. And so
Mhm.
sometimes just like you're saying, just sitting with them and being there and being that presence is what people need. So I applaud you for that.
Thank
It's
you.
about holding space
Hmm.
for people. It's not, they don't necessarily are coming for us to fix it. It's just they need to release it.
Yeah.
So, not necessarily trauma dumping, but just sometimes people, it probably like, man, I didn't even think I would go down this path with you, but they needed to let it go.
Exactly.
So, you know, as long as we kind of put in our mindset, especially if you're an empath, you have to kind of guard yourself so you won't get caught in what they're going through, but just allow that space for them to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you definitely, Dana. I think you that was very well put. Um, you know, being an empath, I think it's natural just to sort of well, empaths are natural listeners.
Mhm.
So it's not a thing of wanting to jump in and fix it. I think that, from an empath perspective, there's almost nothing worse than going through something, sharing that with someone, and them saying something like to the effect of, girl, well, if that were me in that position,
Exactly.
here's what I would do. And, I had that happen to me one time, and da 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 da, da, and they just go through the whole scenario. And it's like, but that's not what I'm not asking you for your opinion. I'm not asking for, your assistance. I just, you know,
I need a
want
friend.
want a friend. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
agree.
Sometimes you just have to, like you were kind of saying, read the room or read the person and kind of go with their flow and let them naturally kind of open up to you without pushing it. And sometimes you just need that friend. So hats off to you. Great job.
Thank you. I really feel like, you know, Steph, you were saying exactly what I was thinking. It's just like it's so easy for us to, you know, people often do come into those situations where they'll be like, oh, you know, it was just a really hard day, and then the other person will be like, please, it was not as hard as my day was. And it's like that's not that's not what we need, you know? And so anytime
Yeah.
that is the case where a friend of mine is like really struggling with something, I'll be like, okay, like one, you know, I always want to ask that person, like, even if you can't think of the words to say what it is you need right now, like, what is going to help once they are able to talk through the situation? And oftentimes they'll just be like, you know, I just need the company. And so I'm like, okay, great.
I know that I have been a fixer. Like I just want everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
And so one thing that I have learned, through several friendships is that I often have no answers. And to be able
Mhm.
to say, I heard myself say it to someone recently. I said, I don't know how I could help with that, but I'm here for you, and I can just pray for you and listen. That's all I got.
Yep.
And they're okay with that, because some situations are beyond, even them figuring out what to do. So I think that is important, to be able to say, I don't know, too.
Yeah. I've had to say that a couple of times. Like,
And
Well,
I
I
think
think
that's acceptable too, to say it's okay that we don't have the answer.
It is.
hmm
I think that this is sort of a nice transition to the next question, which is for whomever wants to answer. And that is, how can women intentionally use their voices, experiences, and influence to lift other women right where they are, not where we think they should be?
I would say that for this, honoring each woman's journey as uniquely her own, and then sharing opportunities, but not being comparative, and celebrating the growth at their pace, and always offering encouragement without expectation. Meeting the person where they are, giving them that empowerment where they need it, and standing with them. That's how I would look at that.
I agree. I think, there's already so much of the competition of women against women that exists in the world. And I think that if you can show up for another female, whether it's a friend, it's a colleague, it's, someone in your life that you've connected with, I think, like Nazreen said, it's about meeting that person where they are and not placing the expectation of, okay, if this is where you are now, but this is where you need to be. There's no need to try to pressure someone to be the way that you want them to be, especially if it's their path and their journey. And I think just being there, like we just said, like being a good friend or being a mentor, just listening to that person and supporting that person through whatever process or part of the journey or life that they're going through, I think could be really beneficial. Because again, like it really is about how we show up for that other person, and in return, you feel like it helps you to feel like, okay, I feel like I'm doing a good thing here, which I think in all, at the end of the day, is a good thing all around. Even if you don't feel like you're benefiting from it in the long run, that friendship, that connection, that conversation leaves you feeling inspired. And that's how I feel every time us women here have our conversations.
Some practical things that I like to do is really find opportunities to, inspire people, inspire women. So even just sharing, maybe a social media post that will inspire other women, or on LinkedIn, promoting people who are doing good things, who are women. You can promote men too, but especially women. But when I hear about opportunities that I think, oh, I'm always trying to think,
Yes.
what friend, what woman do I know who this would be a great opportunity for, whether they're interested or not. I'm going to share it with them just to see, just in case. Hey, here's something that might help you in your journey.
Right. I think that's a huge one, really, sharing resources and connections to um, not help a person to be where we think they should be,
Right.
but if it's something that we know that they would be interested in, or that's where their
Mhm.
passion lies, definitely sharing that information, because we know that there's a lot of people who hold back on stuff.
Mhm. And people can say, no, this is not right for me right now, or not right for
Right.
me, but hey, at least I told you about it.
Right, right. I like to share stuff like that, and even tell the person, if this isn't for you, that's great, but if you can think of anybody else who might be able
Mhm.
to benefit, please just, you know. share it with them.
I know recently someone was looking for a board member for something, and I said, "Well, this is not right for me right now, but let me find someone else." And I called up someone, and she goes, "No, no more, no more. Stop passing off board opportunities that you don't want on me. I have enough of them. Let's find another person."
I think that's so beautiful, like what you ladies just said, because I think, sometimes when we are just like looking for those opportunities and can't find them, and then someone comes up to you and says like, hey, I saw this and I really thought this would be a perfect opportunity for you. It's like sometimes it's something that you've been looking for exactly, or sometimes it's just the opportunity that you didn't even realize you needed, but in the long run, you're like, oh my God, wait, I didn't think about this before, but thank you so much for sharing this for me. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to experience whatever that opportunity might be. And I really think that's even like such an amazing part, to be able to witness that person be like really passionate about that thing.
And the really important thing to remember is, especially those of us who are a little further along the journey, is that somebody did that for us. And if we don't open those doors for other people, they might not get those doors open. So we have that beyond opportunity, that obligation to try to open some doors for other women.
Absolutely, Sylvia. And you really embody that a lot. Um, you're resourceful, and you're always like you said, passing on the resources to other people to uplift them and give them the opportunity experiences that they may not have ever had before. Thank you.
Thank you. So this last question is a question for all of you. It's I think it's a simple question. So, what is one simple intentional thing every woman listening could do this week to impact a friend's life positively?
I've got one. Go to your contacts list in your phone, and every single day this week, text at least one friend and tell them how important they are to you, and why you value them. In one text, that's all it is. Just go and do that. It won't take long, but it will be incredibly impactful. I mean, we've all talked about how when someone reaches out to us and it just puts a smile on our face, it inspires us, it makes us feel good, it makes us feel heard. So I think everyone could just go and shoot out a few texts this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it would be the same thing, but just simply saying to them, I'm proud of you, and I
Mm,
see how hard you're working and how hard you're trying. And most importantly, you matter to me. I
mm.
mean, it takes 20 seconds. It's pretty free to do. And, it leaves a lasting impact on people. And it can also shift the entire emotional weather of someone's day. Put a smile on their face. You never know.
I agree with has been said already, but also too, I would add, if you come across a friend, a woman, and you're admiring something that she's wearing or something that she's doing, let her know. It's okay to give other women compliments and affirmation. Let them know.
So since I can't see, that's been harder. And so I'm always looking for things like, do I smell like a really beautiful perfume, or, something like that. Even accents. I compliment, if I hear a fun accent. So yeah, that is really important, to compliment other women.
Yeah, or
Agreed.
if you've seen a social media post or something that
Mm,
they've done or a book that they've written and you've
mhm.
come to know about it, just tell them how you feel about it. Give them a little, you know, um, a nice message.
I would just add, like, if there's someone in your life, in your friend group or wherever, that you see has been really working hard, but maybe they haven't been really taking the time to like celebrate that. I would in whatever way it works for you and that person, you know, whether it's hanging out and just making sure that you know that you celebrate them and that you want to celebrate them for the amazing things that they've been doing, or maybe if they've been struggling with something, you know, like everyone said, like either complimenting them and letting them know how proud you are of them, or taking that time just to celebrate even the smallest win that they've had. Because oftentimes, I know I'm someone who's definitely guilty of it. I tend to overlook even the smallest wins of mine. And I think if you can see how much work someone else is putting into whatever it is that they've been doing, but they haven't taken that time to say, you know, I'm proud of myself for doing this and getting through that moment. I think it's amazing when you as a friend or whatever can step in and say, look, you know, you've been doing such a great job. Like we should celebrate that, even if it's the thing that they think is not the most important, but actually really is something really important. I think celebrating that is I think really beautiful as well.
Well,
I
I
think that's
celebrate all of you and your greatness, and a special celebrate Steph for all the work she puts into
Yes,
this
yes,
podcast.
definitely.
absolutely.
Our bold blind leader.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you guys. You know, just working with you all, it just makes it so much fun. And especially with a conversation like, you know, today's episode, I think that these types of conversations are so important because we know how it makes us feel when someone can just light up our day with just a smile or a, you know, a really cheery hello, how you doing, you know, I mean, you've all experienced it. You know, you're in a store, you go to the cash register, and the cashier's just one of these bubbly people, and it's like
Mhm.
they just make you feel so good. It's like, wow,
Mhm.
you know, it's a great day to be alive.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so you want to pass that on. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's just so important. So thank you so much for this conversation. And you know, as we wrap up today's talk, we hope that everyone listening is reminded that empowerment, it doesn't always come from big moments or loud gestures. Sometimes it's listening without fixing. Sometimes it's encouraging a friend to take a leap. And sometimes it's simply seeing her fully and clearly when the world doesn't. This Galentine's Day, we invite you to be intentional, reach out, speak life, use your voice to remind another woman that she matters. Because when women support women, incredible things happen, not just for us, but for the world. If this conversation resonated with you, share it with a woman who's made a difference in your life and tell her why.
Thanks for tuning in to Bold Blind Beauty on Air today. We hope this episode has left you inspired and empowered. Remember, our journey continues beyond this podcast. Don't miss out on future episodes. Hit that subscribe button and stay up to date on all of our latest discussions. Also, join our vibrant community on Instagram for behind the scenes content, stories, and doses of motivation. Your support means the world to us as we strive to amplify the diverse voices and stories. Together, let's keep advocating for access, inclusion, and representation. Until next time, stay bold and beautiful.